it hit different. What's going on, bro?
Hey, look, I was trying to figure out what was to the whoop. I seen you and Rooga had a lot going on. I'm like, what's to the whoop?
Wait, so you knew that Rooga had something going on before our recent interaction?
No, I ain't know y'all had nothing going on. I seen the whoop, and then I heard Rooga get that culture vulture, and I was trying to figure out where y'all bump heads at. What happened? It hit different.
I know all of a sudden I'm a culture vulture, and Booga Sugar Rooga wants to talk about how I got some allegations.
Wait, what'd you call him?
What? Booga Sugar Rooga?
What the fuck is that?
I'm like Donald Trump. I can just do nicknames now, bro. It's good. But basically, like, I mean, I think that's like my only possible explanation for his erratic behavior, is I feel like he might have gone and got some of that good O-block meth, because he's just acting like a real weirdo as far as I'm concerned, man.
Damn.
Basically, like, all right, let me just lay this out for you, because you're like the #1 person that I want to talk to about this, because you're a Chi-Town historian and everything. So I agreed to do the interview with him, right? If you watch the whole interview, you will see that my line of questioning was very chill. This was not like a Sean Cotton FYBJMANE interview where every single question is geared up to be like a 3-minute clip of some spicy ass street shit. You know, this was not that. And now granted, I had my employee helping me write questions for Rooga. And when he was doing these questions for him, he wrote down all kinds of street shit that I never even ended up asking any of that shit, because I was sensing the vibe. I'm an elite interviewer, you know. I have a black belt in interviewing motherfuckers. So basically, I understood from the way he was carrying himself and his tone that he didn't necessarily want me to get into like
he didn't want you to be whooping like that.
Right, and that's fine. But a couple of things. Number one, all your most popular songs, like really like almost all your songs, are dissing your ops and talking about all these motherfuckers that you don't like, that you haven't seen in 10 years, whatever. And then on top of that, the only questions that I actually bothered to ask were the ones that were actually like relevant, like me asking him about Dirk being invited backstage at the Kanye shit. To me, that was a relevant question. That's relevant because Dirk is the biggest rapper in the world. He goes on academics and shit. He talks about Rooga by name for like maybe the first time ever. I don't think Dirk ever said Rooga's name before on an interview or anything. And he said basically that, you know, like he didn't want to run into him backstage, that it was serious, whatever. So me bringing that up in the interview, and I actually had academics hit me up about this, and academics was like, that motherfucker Rooga really thought you wasn't going to bring up the Dirk interview? I'm like, yeah, apparently he thought that he, you know, was immune to the way that every other fucking interview goes down. And he was bummed out that I asked him about the billionaire shit too, which is another fucking retarded ass narrative, because, you know, billionaire.
Oh, he was mad about that you asked him about Billy?
He was mad. That was he said that to me like before it even started. Like don't ask me about random shit.
You gotta look, Adam. You gotta ask them these questions, because if not, that's blackballing the other people. It hit different.
That's what I'm saying. And now I got a billionaire black interview lined up so we can figure out exactly what the whoop is.
Just like when I went on there whooping about Donkey Man, what you do? You put Donkey Man in the whoop. It hit different.
Hey, let me tell you something. How come Thunky Man ended up being a way bigger G than Booga Sugar Rooga? Thunky Man is as pasty white as they come. He makes me look like Shaquille O'Neal, and then he still handled himself in the interview way better than Rooga. I don't understand. How's your white producer gonna act like a G and stand on shit and say, yeah, I thumped J-Mane's YouTube channel, but then meanwhile, Rooga is over here, he can't even handle a simple fucking interview. And this is the thing, is like, I can ask you, listen, even with you, I could ask you about any body, any beef, anything, and I know how you're gonna answer it because you're a smart guy. You're gonna maneuver around it. If it really is something that's like so on point that you just don't want to talk about it, then you're gonna find a way to, you know, get around it and everything. But instead, Booga Sugar Rooga's angle on all this was that he wanted to go on Instagram and talk shit about it after, instead of just being a fucking G about the way that the conversation went, you know?
Okay. Now look, I seen Rooga saying something like he told you not to put the interview out. What was that about?
Yeah, I forgot about it after he said that, because I just fucking thought it was a pretty good interview. So he did say something about not putting it out, and I meant to I meant to like holler at him and be like, yo, we're gonna put the interview out anyway, because realistically